Hi, magandang gabi sa inyo, learners. Isang karangalan muli na kayo ay kumustahin sa nakalipas na dalawang typhoon, ang Rolly and Ulysses. I hope you are okay and safe and sound. Ngayong gabi, tatalakayin natin yung topic ko ay stress. Napakahirap talaga. Pero ang stress, meron siyang positive at negative. Okay, so yun yung sana naintindihan ninyo para higit ninyong malaman kung ano yung positive at negative ng stress. So, ayan, ang tatalakayin ko sa inyo ay modules, what is this module about? As student, sabi diyan, we often experience challenging situation which affects the way we behave toward ourselves and others. Such situation cause stress. This module will help you understand stress more clearly and know its positive and negative consequences. So, it means ang stress ay meron siyang negative and positive consequences. So, you will also know why we have stress in our lives. When it comes from and how to avoid or reduce stressors. In other words, how do we manage stress? Okay, parang gusto natin malaman saan ba galing yung stress at paano natin to mamamanage. College life is full of stresses and challenges. Experts this. It is therefore important that you accept this as part of college life. Wow! Ito palang modules na ito pang college. You must prepare yourself to deal with these stresses and challenges. By the way, hindi ito pang college ha. Ito ay galing sa accreditation and equivalency readiness test na module. So, focusing in grade 11 or grade 12. Parang ganon. Pero ako naniniwala ito ay grade 10. In this module, you will be using a cassette player to help you unload your stress. This module consists of 3 lessons, namely. So, ngayong gabi, tatalakayin natin yung una, 1 lesson muna. Ang lesson 1 is stress as spice of life. The second one is stress overload and how to do away with stressors. And lesson 3, how to cope with stress. Paano paglalabanan? Again, stay with me as I walk you through these different activities in the module. You are not going to regret learning a lot from this module. Okay, happy module studying kahit na katatapos lang ng Rolly and Ulysses. By the way, nasa relief operation ako. So ito lang bakanting oras ko. At by Monday until Saturday, I will be in the relief operation. Okay? What will you learn from this module? Number one, as you go through this module, you will be able to explain why what stress is, why we have it in our lives, and where it comes from. Identify common stressors. Analyze the different bodily responses to stress. Recognize signs or indicators of stress overload. And examine the different ways of doing away with or reducing stressors. And lastly, evaluate different ways of coping with stress and decide on the ones that work best for you. Let's see what you already know. Find out what you already know about this module. This result of this pre-test will show whether you need to study this module or you cannot move on to another one. Number 1, which of the following does not best describe or explain what stress is all about? A. Stress is non-specific response of the body to a certain demand. B. Stress is the state of imbalance between demands and our observed abilities to meet those demands. Letter C, increase heart rate in one of the immediate responses of our body to stressful. Letter D, people who experience stress are abnormal and thus they should be confined in a hospital. Diyan makikita na sabi niya you whether you need the result of this pretest will show you whether you need to study this module or you can move to another. Ang question is, what of the following what of the following does not describe or explain what stress is all about? About rather. So you can choose the right answer. Mamaya we will give you the right answer. Stress cannot be avoided. It is a part of our lives. To be without stress is to be dead. Do you agree or disagree with the statement? Explain your answer. So, for me, ang stress ay may positive and negative yan. So, hindi yan, part yan talaga ng buhay natin. Okay. Number 3, stress comes from different sources. Which of the following is not a source of stress? Next week's final examination, financial obligation, death in the family, passing a short quiz, change of college course. I think letter D, passing a short quiz. Ang sabi niya ay ano which of the following is not a source of stress? I'm not sure, ano? Which of the following is not job, career stressor, anything that causes stress in a job? Letter A, lack of support from a group, friends, family, relatives, heavier than usual workload, layoff of employees, low pay, and letter C, change of your career. Number 5, one of the symptoms of stress is increased heartbeat. Why does this happen when we in a stressful situation? Possible talagang pag stress ka, worried ka, and then possible din make you fear something. Tatakot ka sa isang bagay. Okay, number 6, which of the following is not a sign of indicator stress overload? Letter A, pain in the neck, weight gain or loss, loss of appetite, job satisfaction, nail biting. I think letter B. Number 7, talking to people you trust and getting the comment or suggestion is one way of avoiding or reducing a stressor. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? Explain your answer. Number 8, which the following is an example of unhealthy way of coping with stress? Muscle relaxation, use of drugs, breathing exercise, visualization, yoga. Unhealthy. I think letter B. Okay. Number 9, some people drink beer or whiskey to cope with stress. Is this healthy way of coping with stress? Explain your answer. I think it's not healthy. Letter number 10, true or false? Feeling victimized or powerless is sign of stress overload. True. Well, how was is do you think you fare well? Compare your answer with the answer key on page 34 to 35. In all your answers are correct. Very good. Congratulations. This shows that you already know much the topic and this module. You may still study the module to review what you already know. Who knows, you might learn a few more new things as well. If you got a low score, don't feel bad. This means that this module is for you. It will help you understand some important concept that you can apply in your daily life. If you study this module carefully, you will learn the answer to all items and the test a lot of more. Are you ready? You may go now to the next page to begin lesson 1. Hindi muna natin tatalakayin lesson 1. We will discuss the answer. Okay. Answer key, page 34. Letter D ang sagot. People who undergo or experience stress are normal people. Stress is a common occurrence in life. We experience it when there is an event, when changes of life. Often we experience stress because of hassle and challenges in our daily life. So, ngayong pandemic, ngayong Rolly and Ulysses, talagang stress are normal people. Sabi yan, I agree with the statement, can you imagine your life without experiencing stress? For as long as we live, we will experience stress because our lives are characterized by change. It is this change that creates stress. For example, when you decide to go to college, this will create a big change in your life. You will then experience stress if you find out that you cannot study the course you choose because your aptitude do not match the skills requirements of, of the course, then you will experience stress na naman. If you're made to speak before your college class before the first time, then you will experience stress. Also, some of the stresses came from inside our body and mind. In other words, they are part of ourselves. We have our biological energy cycles or circadian rhythm, as biological call them. Those seem to play a role in experience of stress. For example, if we study productively from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight and somebody requires that you study early in the morning, then you will be giving experiences stress. Furthermore, we have our individual personalities, our value system, our belief, our like and dislike. All this contribute to our experience with stress. If you value, for example, high college grade and your classmate don't, then you will turn between going with your friends and regularly study of lesson. Assignment and homework, this situation is going to cause stress to you. This stress will also be with us in the spite of our lives, the absence of takpan. Yan. Ayaw na. Yun. Stress you. Ano, sabi yan, the absence of stress means death. Number 3, passing short quiz is not likely to cause stress. It is not strong enough to produce stress. So, tama ako kanina. Letter L, lack of support group belongs to the classification of personal stressor rather than job career stressor. Number 5, increased heart rate occurs because the nervous system will release chemical that give us strength. Fatty tissue throughout the body release energy which is the past is stored as fat. The liver releases blood sugar and the brain commands the release of hormones that block pain. Letter D of number 6, job satisfaction is not all a sign of indicator of stress overload. It is a sign of happiness with what has been done. Number 7, I agree with the statement by talking to a good friend, asking, listening when he has to say produces a stress created by a forthcoming examination in chemistry. For example, a good friend who really cares can help you by pointing out that I am not the only one having difficulty with chemistry, and this is to be expected. he can provide the advice that I need. This will help you calm me down. 8 is a form of stress avoidance. Use of drugs simply postpone the stress, does not reduce or do away with it. Is a sign of coping mechanism. Number 9, no alcohol is not healthy coping mechanism. Alcohol doesn't really help me cope. It creates more problem than it solves. By taking alcohol, I try to avoid the stress and forget about it. In the meantime, I simply postpone it. Number 10, true, it feels victimized or powerless, then I feel helpless and hopeless. It is total surrender to stressor. Stress must have a song so strong then could be been many different sources of stress affecting me at the same time. Okay, I hope you will learn